Hi, I'm Valerie Brown of Travel Adventures with Valerie Brown, and I'm a senior travel vlogger. And today's episode is going to be talking about Dublin, Ireland. I just got back, and I want to inspire you to go to Dublin and anywhere else in the world. So as I said, we just got back late last night from Dublin, and we had a wonderful time. But it was so cold, and there was rain, but we had so much fun. And one of the things I specifically want to talk about now, and I'll talk about at the end, was how much human kindness they showed us. I never met one bitter person in Dublin. Everybody was so friendly and helpful and smiling all the time. We need more of that here in the US. We really do. So to tell you about our Dublin experience, we arrived and we took an Uber to our hotel. And the Ubers in Dublin are very expensive. I didn't expect them to be that high. Our price was, for a 20-minute ride, was about $40, and I think that's pretty high. And we stayed in the Maldron Hotels, which is a small chain of hotels in Ireland. Now, by American scale, it was a very nice hotel. By European scale, though, it was a very upscale hotel. And the rooms were so large. That's very unusual in Europe. I don't know if you've stayed in most European rooms, unless you have a suite, are very tiny. And this was very big, and there was a nice sized bathroom. All very modern and new. And the breakfast they would give us every morning are fabulous. They catered to every diet. We had a vegan with us, and she was able to find everything she needed to eat for breakfast. And they had a chart, but you know, the chart was throughout Dublin. Every restaurant had this chart, and it mentioned 17 different allergies. It had a number next to every allergy, and so every food that they put out had number 1 was gluten, number 2 was nuts. I mean, it just listed the whole thing, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I think we need to go to that here in the U.S. It was an excellent breakfast. So the first day we were there, again, it was cold and it was raining, and it rained and it rained and it rained and it rained sheets. We took the hop-on, hop-off bus in Dublin, and I've heard other people that say that you really don't need to do that. You can go off on your own, but that's not true. Dublin is pretty big, and we need it, especially in the rain. So we enjoyed that, and we had a few stops. We didn't have a lot. I don't know if you've ever taken the hop-on, hop-off bus, but our run was an hour and 45 minutes. And usually for a full day, you can only get 2 or 3 stops out of it. So our first stop was the Guinness Storehouse. And I got to try Guinness for my first time. And the girls had what was called a black velvet, and it was Guinness with champagne. And actually that was very good. Our next stop was the Kilmainham Gold Prison Museum. And the features of this museum was from the 1910s to the 1920s, all the political prisoners that stayed there. And it was very interesting too. But it was very cold because most of it was outdoors. It is a prison. So it was outdoors, but that was very interesting. That evening, we went to the church restaurant, and the church restaurant was formerly St. Mary's Church, which was built in 1699. And we had a wonderful dinner there. And after dinner, they had Irish dancing, which was great. They had music and Irish dancing, and they doing the jigs. And the next day, we did the hop-on, hop-off bus again. And first we went to the Trinity Church to see the Book of Kells, which is the reason you're supposed to go there. But also we went to the library, and the library was where they filmed the Harry Potter movies for the school. And that was pretty interesting. It was a beautiful, huge library with thousands of books in it. So that was very interesting. We didn't have quite as much rain, but of course it was still rain. And then after that, we went to the Archeology Museum, and that was free. And that was very nice to see. And I like going to Egyptian exhibits, and I was very impressed. They had one going on, and they must have had some minor deities, because they actually had 5 mummies and 5 sarcophagus there. And that's very unusual for a museum to have that many. So they couldn't have been very important people, but I still was able to see that, and that was very nice. I enjoyed that. From there, we got back on the bus, and we went to the Jameson Distillery and learned all about making Jameson Irish whiskey. That's what it was. And the drink they introduced us to was Jameson ginger ale and lime, which was wonderful. And we got to tour the place, and so they're all very interesting. There's only 5 major distilleries in Ireland, and we enjoyed seeing all of them. From there, we went back to our hotel and got rested up from the cold and got warmed up again, and then we headed off to a free night tour. And if you purchased a 2-day pass with Hop On Hop Off, they give you a free 1-hour night tour, and that was very interesting to see the whole city lit up at night. I like that. And after the night tour, we went to Murray's Bar, where they had Irish folk music, and that was great too. The following day, we took a half-day tour of Malahide Castle, which is a haunted castle, and it's about 35 minutes outside of Dublin. And this is the castle where all the paranormal shows go to film to see if they can see any ghosts. And it's a beautiful castle. We really enjoyed that, but we didn't see any ghosts. Now, all of the things that I've talked about today, nobody has paid me to talk about them, but I enjoyed the services and the products that I used, and I wanted to tell you about them. And I hope that I have inspired you to travel to Ireland and other places far beyond. And I also have a newsletter website blog, www.TAWVB.com. Please join, subscribe, like, and for this YouTube, please join, subscribe, like, pass it on to your friends. And thank you for watching this episode. I'm Valerie Brown.